Wait, I would like to bob closer to the ship.
Well, we stand here in a row, looking like a bunch of heroes. I know that deep inside, nothing more but a bunch of zeros.
Welcome to episode 19 of Bards and Nobles, a Dungeons and Dragons podcast where we sit in a tank and drink beer. I'm Brian, the Dungeon Master, and I'm joined today by...
This is Anthony Boyd. I was playing Akua Goldmane. I'm dead again.
You could still be playing him, you don't know.
As of right now, I'm dead, so whatever. Get over to Kraken.
My name is Trey O'Neill. I play Captain Kraken. I am a half-orc barbarian. I'm currently alive, and I'm okay with my basement referred to as a tank.
I'm Andrew Danon. Kind of, sort of playing Theranelo. I'm also dead from the thrashing from last episode. And as someone who has actually been in a tank, this is not a tank.
We thank you for your service.
You're welcome. Aaron Williams playing
Why are y'all laughing?
Pavilion, son of Gazebo. The Warlock Minotaur, and I am alive currently.
I feel like we should kill him just for the sake of it.
I am Blake Harrison, and I'll be playing a corpse, formerly known as Steve Dragonman, the Dragonborn Cleric.
And I am Charles Nelson. I play Keef, the half-elf ghost. So
I like how we finally get a cleric, and yet we all die.
Well, this episode is brought to you by Audible. If you'd like to support us, please go to audibletrial.com/bards, and you'll get a free 30-day trial and a free book. And I'd like to recommend Treasure Island. It's a classic novel about pirates and stuff and treasure. It's pretty awesome. Check it out.
Guys, I vote that Charles does this all the time because he says it right every time.
By the way, funny story, I literally just sold a copy of that book today.
That's not a funny story. That's just you bragging.
It was funny after you said that.
Holy call out, Batman. Wow. All right, guys.
Suck it, Aaron.
Rein it in. Let's get started on the episode. Who's doing the recap today?
All right. Thanks for tuning in, guys. A quick recap of last week's episode.
We're all dead.
A lot of fire.
Almost.
Someone shot a barrel. No one will name names. It was Captain Kraken. The barrel killed or incapacitated 3 of his fellow shipmates, and all the while, Keef fought a glorious battle against the water and lost. And what else happened? Let's
Theron
see.
molested a Kenku.
Yeah, there was some magic hands dealt up the butthole of a Kenku. I'm not sure why, but that happened.
Attempted
And
magic hands.
That's true. It was a failed magic
It was
hand.
a distraction attempt. Come on, man.
He ended up stroking his own grundle, but and
I died happy.
Kraken
Grundle. I think that's going to be the name of my new character.
jumped off a cliff with a Kenku and killed one. So that was kind of nice, I guess.
Yeah.
This week.
All right, so yeah, that's where we'll start off. Let's see.
Pick up with the only alive member of the group.
Theron at the bottom of a cliff, at the base of a tree, unconscious,
Dead.
murdered at the hands of one of the Kenku.
Bastard.
Keef in the water at the base of the waterfall.
Murdered by the hands of the water.
Murdered at the hands of the water. Kraken is actually in the water, unbeknownst to him, actually pretty close to Keef. Him and one of the Kenku had plunged off the side of the cliff, hit the water, and thanks to his half-orc lineage, his relentless endurance allowed him to survive the fall at 1 hit point. It's currently underwater. At the top of the cliff, we have Akua Goldmane, currently dead.
So dead.
Dragonman, he's stabilized at 0 hit points. Leon standing up with 1 hit point left.
laying down.
And there are still 2 of the Kenku assassins left.
I hope Kraken drowned.
Did you just recap my recap?
Yes, he did.
I'm starting us off right here.
Okay, you
Yeah. Kraken just went.
Like a
Leon.
recap.
Leon, it is currently your turn. At your feet, actually not even at your feet because you haven't even stood up yet, laying on top of the unconscious body of Dragonman, you see him, and also to your right, you see the cliffside where the Kenku, what looked like the leader of the four, this quad of Kenku assassins, seems to be flying near the edge, currently paying no attention to you, just kind of looking over the edge, surveying the area. What are you doing?
Wait, he's at the edge?
He's flying.
Oh.
Yeah, he's flying about 15 feet
See
up.
at the edge of glory.
I'm on the edge
Is there a hole nearby?
of glory.
He doesn't see me?
I mean, he's aware of your presence. Yeah.
Wait, he knows that he sees me?
Yeah, he saw you. You're not hidden. You're open and out in plain sight.
There's
All
a
right.
giant cow.
You're a giant cow.
I mean, yeah, he's
Well,
a sentient
I am
being. He
not
remembers you were there.
I am not going to let bygones be bygones. Does he expect an attack?
Do you want to roll an insight check to see? I mean, you guys are in the middle of a fight.
I would
I
like
assume
to
so.
attack.
All right.
Come on.
Fire boltingly.
Come on.
And no, I rolled another 2.
God dang it, Aaron.
You fire a firebolt at him, and it again flies off into the air, missing him wildly. He doesn't even spend the energy to dodge it, but he does look over at you and more or less dismisses you and just kind of turns back to the water.
Okay, I tiredly stand up.
Okay, you're standing above the unconscious body of Steve Dragonman. Anything else?
No.
Steve Dragonman, you are currently unconscious.
All right.
The Kenko at the bottom of the base of the cliff begins to take his turn. And that was a roll. Kraken, as you regain consciousness and you see the dead Kenku beneath you begin to sink below the water, you notice in the water 2 daggers just kind of fly, not fly, but kind of, I guess, sink. They miss you as they pass by you, but it looks like you're being attacked from underneath the water. Or you're being attacked while you are underneath the water.
It's coming from above the water.
It is coming from above the water. Yes. Let's see, that's his turn. It's
Wait,
your
is it
turn.
my turn?
It's not your turn. Bro.
Oh, okay. Then I continue to stay underwater.
Just live the rest of your life
He
down
takes his
there.
turn. He takes his turn.
I live the rest of my life underwater. Probably.
Leon, you see the Kenku that you just fired upon dive over the edge of the cliff.
He gone?
He is gone. It looks like he saw that you attacked him, but he has at this point paid you no attention,
Am I out of combat?
and he left. No,
Okay. Got it.
just for the sake of keeping
Sure.
everything simple.
I understand.
He flies over the edge, and that's all you see of him. Kraken, your turn.
All right. Am I underwater or am I?
You are currently underwater about 10 feet.
Okay. I do my best to orient myself
Uh-huh.
and swim towards the surface.
Okay. You surface, and you see directly above you one of the Kraken, or one of the Kenku flying, presumably the one that just attacked you. And
All right.
then above him, way above him in the dim dusk light, you see another object flying down towards you.
How far from the shore am I?
You are about 45 feet swimming.
Swimming, so like double my movement speed.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, because swimming is half your...
Right. Can I drink a potion while treading water?
For show.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah. Go for it.
I do that shit.
Okay.
Can you recklessly drink?
Yeah, you get half the effects if you stone cold a potion.
4 and 1. What is a regular health potion? It's 2d4
Plus 2.
plus 2. All right. That is
Negative
a-
10 points. You die by drinking it.
That is a 7.
Okay.
Surprise! James poisoned them. You're dead.
A 7?
Yeah.
And then I use the rest of my movement speed to move towards the shore.
Okay.
The bard has
Make
the
your way
last
halfway
laugh.
there. Okay.
All right. I use my bonus action to reach into the bag of holding towards the other health potions.
Okay. That's cool. Leon, currently your turn.
All right. So they left. I currently have no one around me to threaten me.
Correct. You don't see anybody.
Is Akua's body still on the fire?
The fire at this point has died down. You see the crispy mass that is Akua's body.
Uncle Owen.
All right. I would just like to spend my turn gathering Dragonmen and Akua and preparing to carry them. If that takes 2 turns, I understand.
Gotcha. Yeah, you can gather up Dragonmen.
You say the fire's gone.
The fire has died down at this point.
Died down or gone?
You will not take fire damage walking through it if that's what
Good.
you're asking.
That is
Yeah.
what I'm asking.
Yeah.
Because that is what I want to know. I would like to take Dragonmen, and then I would also like to go and get Akua's corpse.
Okay. You
These
go
might
and
cover
gather
smell for
Dragonman,
me.
and you're able to make your way over to Akua just with that movement speed of carrying him.
Okay.
Dragonman, nothing. All right. No longer underwater. No longer raged. The Kenku that's flying above you sees you surfacing and is able to attack.
Fuck that guy.
And you're dead.
He deals
What does he roll?
1 million.
a 24
Okay, thanks.
and
Bye.
a 24. I rolled the same number on both. Yeah.
Theron would like to take a reactionary attack and also attack Kraken just to make sure he joins the rest of us.
From the spirit world, you try, but nothing happens. You take 9 points of piercing damage.
No, I'm down.
Theron as a ghost.
Relentless endurance.
No, I know.
Theron as a ghost would like to poke him in the
But it's
eyes.
relentless.
It's unrelenting.
Because I didn't say I rage is my bonus action.
I feel like it's false advertising. Relentless is
Most because the DM wants to kill us.
that's
But
what
yeah.
it is.
Oh, we could have did this to ourselves. A lot of this we did to ourselves.
It's true.
Immediately should have taken that short rest.
All right.
I should have
they
fingered
take-
that guy more. Should have thumbed that guy more.
You should have thumbed harder.
I should have thumbed
shot him
harder.
with some
The
fucking
other-
arrows when you had sneak attack. That's what you should have
I
done.
did. Only got 1 turn of sneak attack.
He tried to sneak attack with his mage.
Brian
So
would
as
give me
you
anything
as
else.
you take the shadow dagger, you fall unconscious. The other Kenku joins him, and they both just begin circling the water. It is your turn.
I would like to make a death saving throw.
Please do.
17.
All right,
Yay!
Leon, what are you doing?
Gathering Akua, and we're going to make our way back to the ship.
Okay, you pick both of them
Akua
up.
and
What's your strength
Dragon-
check?
I have a strength
Or what's
of
your strength?
14.
Okay, you're able to hoist both of them on. Your speed is quartered at this
Okay.
point.
So 30 divided by 4 is what I move.
Like 7.5. So 7.
You make your way to the steps that line the side of the cliffside that makes its way
Yeah,
down. to-
I'm going back to the ship as well.
right. You slowly begin making your way down.
I dash.
No, you don't. Shut up.
Gotcha. Not this turn though, because
Yeah,
you
sure,
use your
sure,
action
sure.
to lift
Next
up
turn.
Akua. To
Instead
carefully
of
lift up
moving, instead
their
of moving
bodies.
7 feet, I will move 14.
Big steps.
Kraken. Yes. Give me another death saving throw.
17.
All right.
Why are you pointing it? He can't see it. What the fuck is wrong with you?
Is anyone else that can see it?
I verify that it's a 7.
Is it?
No, it's 17.
It is a 17.
I'm not gonna do that to him.
All right. for all intents and purposes, Leon, you see the two Kenku just kind of circling above the water.
Okay.
And as far as you know, one of them knows you're there, but they've made no mention or no action towards you.
I understand the situation we're in, and I would like to resolutely make my way to the ship.
Resolutely.
I would like to get the fuck out ASAP.
Yes, you begin descending the steps. Let's see. Give me a strength check.
Okay.
Just to make sure you're maintaining control of both Dragonman and Akua.
18.
18? Yeah, you stumble a little bit, but the steps aren't too narrow for you. You're able to hold them up.
Guys, I'm not going to lie. This 12% beer, I'm feeling it hard. Shout out to Beer Hog for having some awesome beer.
That's the beer hog in Pelham, Alabama.
They don't support us at all, but they have amazing beer.
We support them.
We support them.
And
Also-
thank you, Velvet Evil from
Fuck yeah, Velvet Evil.
from Straight to L in Huntsville, Alabama.
Yeah.
Not gonna lie, it's a really good beer.
It's really good. Also, a hot dog guy that's there on Thursdays is amazing.
And shout out to Craig chocolate rice
Of
cakes.
course, Craig is next.
So,
So he's
like-
the only one alive.
Now we
And he
just
went to
do
go
advertisements. We
Yeah.
don't even play D&D anymore.
Kraken, go ahead and give me Kraken, give me a death saving throw.
I was gonna roll for you, but
14.
All right.
is that dice loaded?
You
Check it for Boyd.
you stabilize. But
I feel like this dice
being
is loaded.
underwater, you still suffer the effects of drowning.
Wait, surface.
Wait,
Right. But you fell unconscious in the water. You can't tread water while unconscious.
I'm saying I moved to the surface and then fell.
do the waves rotate him like a rotisserie?
Not long enough to maintain breath.
He's wearing a lot.
You still fall under the water. And this happened to anybody that falls unconscious in the water. You stabilize,
Wills it. All right.
but on the next roll, you'll still have to make saving throw. Unless you get saved or roll a 20. I mean, you're in the water. There's not a whole lot you can do at 0 hit points and unconscious. Leon, you're about halfway down. Give me another strength saving throw as you're struggling with your 1 hit point to carry both Dragonman and Akua, both grown adult males.
I understand. 16.
All right. You struggle through it and you're able to carry them down.
Okay.
Not
Man.
quite there yet.
Yeah, I'm not getting close to the ship.
I mean, you're still making your way down the 150-foot cliffside, down these narrow stairs carrying 2 bodies.
Okay.
What's up?
I'm gonna lay one. I recognize the situation I'm in, and I'll lay one guy down,
Yeah.
namely Akua, and I would like to continue and get Dragonman down to safety, and then I'll come back for Akua.
Sure.
I would like to hunt the canaan's ass for forever.
Hey! If I slip and if I roll less than a 10 on this, we're all fucked.
I'm already dead, man. I can't get deader. Wait, can I get deader?
Oh wait, maybe we could just make another deal with Shaw.
Yeah, it worked out great last time.
Yeah.
it did.
Boyd can refuse to be revived again.
Kraken. Give me another death saving throw.
I'm even. I'm 0-0, right?
Yes, it starts over.
All right.
But unfortunately, this is the problem with falling unconscious in the water.
11.
Yeah. Okay.
I just want to know where I'm at.
Yeah.
Okay.
So now you're at 1 success, 0 failures.
All right.
So the next 10 years, you're stuck between life and death. And you're bobbing along. I'll allow it.
Can Krognak try to reach back from the afterlife and help his brother?
Throttle him.
No.
To the audience, he just rolled a dice with the sound effects.
What was the DC on that roll?
So high. It was really, really high.
1,000. If 1,000 showed up on one of the die, you would totally let that happen.
Okay, you had to beat
If I
1,000
roll
and you
nat
rolled
20,
a
can you let it
d20.
happen?
Maybe when it gets to your turn.
Not 20 at disadvantage.
Nat 20 disadvantage.
He said on your turn.
On your turn, yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Let's see.
I'm never going to get a turn because I'm dead, aren't I?
That's true. All right, Leon, go ahead and give me another strength check. You're at the bottom. Yeah, I know. So the DC is a lot less, but you're making your way to the bottom of the
Save us all.
steps.
5.
Fall your death.
I put him down.
It takes you a little bit, but you're struggling to move. You don't Fortunately, you don't drop him, but you have made it to the bottom of the cliff at this point. You see the dead body of Theron at the base of a tree near the shoreline.
Oh God.
30 feet to the right of that, you see the boat, the actual rowboat, as part of the
30 feet?
Yeah, to the shoreline.
Okay.
A boat that's part of the not the Dainty Horn as you know it, but the Millennium Falcon, the ship.
No, it's the Dainty Horn.
Out in the water, you do see bobbing there the body of Captain Kraken.
In the ocean?
In the water, yes. Out near where the waterfall was.
What about Keef? Am I bobbing? Do I get to bob?
You are not bobbing. I'm sorry.
Wait, no, but I'm not wearing any armor, so I should bob. I should bob harder than the captain.
He might even
You know what?
leave.
You're still bobbing a little bit. You see two bodies out in the water.
Got it. Nice persuasion.
Made a case.
You see your captain bobbing in the water and some other guy.
I see it. I've got
You see your
Dragonman
captain, which
going,
betrayed his
and
crew.
I'm gonna get Dragonman because I'm as much as I can. I'm dashing.
Right. No, I understand.
So I am trying to get Dragonman to the rowboat.
Okay. At the end of your turn, you're able to make it to the rowboat and you're able to slump Dragonman's unconscious body.
Okay.
But breathing, unconscious but breathing, body onto the rowboat. Kraken, your turn.
Wait, I would like to bob closer to the ship.
Keef would like to bob into the ship.
Duly noted. Kraken, give me a death saving throw.
I think by bobbing movement
19.
speed is like 10
Okay.
feet.
A 19, guys.
Great, so you can save all of us, you asshole.
So you're gonna roll six successes in a row
Yeah.
and still die.
No, I'm just going to continue to bob at the surface and never die.
Uh,
I'd like to fire an arrow at Kraken.
I'm at 2 and
Keeps
0.
doing.
Insane.
yeah. Leon.
I go back for Akua.
Okay. Make your way up. You make your way up to the body because he's about halfway up this
Yeah.
cliffside on the steps. You get him, you pick him up, and you begin descending. Kraken,
I'd like to make a death saving throw, please.
a show.
That is a 4.
All right.
Stop laughing at him, Darren. We're trying to live.
Leon, you have made your way back down the cliffside.
Okay.
You have.
I mean, there's a guy that's your friend that's floating in the water versus a guy that's on dry land. But whatever.
Sure.
I mean, to be fair, he blew
I'm gonna
everybody
set
up.
Akua down, and I'm gonna go for the captain.
Okay, you dive
You
into
haven't
the water.
picked up the Akua.
Yeah,
Picked up Akua yet.
I got him off of the stairs, and I've gotten him down.
Yeah,
and, then
sweet.
now I'm going for the captain to get him out of the water.
Okay. Kraken.
And they attack you.
17.
Okay.
That's a damn good die.
Yeah.
That's my favorite die.
It should be.
He put some lead in the bottom of that.
All right. Leon,
So I've got the captain.
are you swimming to the captain?
Okay.
As you swim towards the captain, you see the two Kenku that have been circling this entire time begin throwing daggers at you.
With your 11 AC.
It's like we forgot there were still assassins around.
You're dead.
You take 12 points of piercing damage as two daggers hit you
I fall unconscious.
in the water.
I fall unconscious in the water.
Okay.
Everyone's
Wait,
unconscious.
is his movement pulling me? Does he get close to like standing
I
up?
don't think it ever got to you.
As he was swimming towards you, they were circling you, watching.
Yeah.
So wait a minute.
bodies.
They use the reactions.
Yes, they were just circling this entire time. They weren't attacking. They paid almost zero attention to you until you started approaching Kraken.
Well, it's been great. Thanks for listening to Bards and Nobles.
All
We'll
right.
just start season 2. It's cool.
Well, that happens.
Uh,
Got the hiccups.
at this point,
But wait, I clearly remember Aaron saying that he couldn't be killed. So there's a miscalculation somewhere.
Obviously.
um,
DM said challenge accepted.
Haven't died yet.
That's true.
at this point, everyone's unconscious, correct? Dragonman's the only you've stabilized.
Yeah, I'm
But you're still at 0 hit points.
I'm Craig can stabilize at 0 and 0 for death saving throws.
Right. But as you are still technically underwater, in the water, unable to swim, you fall back into the realm of having to roll for death saving throws.
Right, drowning, son.
Agreed. But I'm at 0 and 0.
You're either
Correct.
going to drown or you're
I
going to
thought you
get
had
stabbed
2
to
and
death.
1.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah, I really don't know how to roll this.
Brian's going to kill everybody
I could roll a 20. That's all I'm saying.
Give me another roll. We'll go back. I mean, it's going to have to be between both of you.
Yeah.
All right.
So we'll have to take turns seeing who can stabilize.
18.
All right.
That's a save.
That's 1. Leon.
That's a 2.
Sorry for the hiccup.
Okay. Kraken.
15.
All right.
That's a save.
That's a 1. I'm dead.
Oh, that was a natural 1?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I rolled a 3.
I rolled a natural 1. Leon, Pavilion, son of Gazibo from the Isle of Aranda, is dead.
You're in your maiden voyage.
I still have. All right.
Fuck you, Kraken. I tried to save your ass.
Captain Kraken is 2 and 1. Successes over fails.
Okay.
Oh, that's a 4. That's a fail.
All right. So you are 2 and 2.
I am 2 and 2.
So with this last roll, we have currently, just to establish, Theron dead on the shore.
Yep.
Akua
I'm so dead.
dead in the rowboat.
Burned to a crisp, dead in the rowboat.
Keef dead in the water.
But bobbing toward the ship.
Slightly. I don't know about towards the ship, but
I mean, the current is carrying you out to the ocean.
Leon.
eventually, Yes.
Leon, you have breathed your last breath. You are dead in the water as well.
Bros.
Dragonman, you are actually unconscious, but laying in the rowboat.
You don't make it.
Kraken,
Nap.
you have 2 successes
And 2 fails.
and you have 2 fails.
Fail this last one already. Shit.
17.
All right.
Use my luck to re-roll it.
Shut the fuck up. You're dead. You don't have luck.
All right, you make it, but at this point, the 2 Kenku, seeing how long this is taking, as
Knowing that they want this to happen.
you are the only one still alive that is part of their contract to kill.
Unconscious floating.
Bobbing, if you will.
Whereas the other ones are bobbing more dead-like. They descend and they throw their daggers at you. Rolling is just a formality at this point.
Right. Because it was
14.
wanted to happen. So
They get
it's
advantage
going to happen.
on.
No, I mean I
dead
could roll out in
bodies,
the
right?
open if it makes you feel better.
I mean,
From
from the beginning, this is going to happen.
as the shadow dagger pierces you,
Wait, what was the roll?
1
million.
it was a 14, 21 was one
Your
of the,
AC is
one
like
of the
23,
attacks.
right?
It's 18.
Oh.
One of the attacks, 14 plus 7.
Good try,
All right.
Keith.
Hits you for X amount of damage. You're unconscious. You still take 2 death saving throws. On the next round, you can make a roll to save if you want.
Yes.
Goodbye.
It was out of the box, so I should re-roll it because I just dropped it instead of rolling it.
I feel like that counts.
That's a 12.
Okay.
I feel like that doesn't count.
I had to call bullshit on that.
I mean, they can attack again. And
Right.
Wait, before they attack, I'd like to bob a little bit closer to the ship.
they take notice.
All right.
Can we please throw a dagger at Keith's dead body?
The DM wills us to die. We die.
I would like to.
If
use
that's
my,
how you want to keep approaching this.
I would like to use my ghostly powers to influence Kraken rolls to minus his rolls, just to
It
get this
doesn't
over
matter.
with.
We're all dead.
Yeah.
TPK.
It's willed. It
Mostly
happens.
Trey's fault.
Can the crew of the ship see
like it's
all of us
Trey's fault.
dead in the water?
Yeah, why didn't they help? You lazy bastards.
Mostly whatever character Aaron is playing, because there's always got to be something wrong with its character.
Yeah, like I blow up barrels of oil to kill the team.
So, as the Kenku descends, they deliver the final killing blow, fulfilling the contract that they've been given, killing the last person they were able to find of the original crew.
Then they revive everyone who wasn't a part of the contract.
Plus Keef.
Plus Keef.
So I mean, I don't know where to go here from here, guys. Everyone's
We're all
dead.
dead.
I mean,
Time
I
out,
guess
time
you
out.
could roleplay out
Well,
Dragonman
yeah.
apologizing to Akua's father.
Wait, do you really not know where to go from here?
I mean, everybody's dead at this point.
Except
So, like,
Thanks for listening to the podcast,
yeah,
guys.
except for
That's
Dragonman. Dragonman is still at 0 hit points.
He wakes up a day later amidst the corpses of his.
C-Nub's gonna come get me? C-Nubs!
I have to say, I'm disappointed in the crew for not helping us at all. That ballista's got a range of like 600 meters. I'm just saying.
I'm disappointed in us being idiots and getting into this situation.
I'm disappointed in Trey for blowing up the barrel.
Dragonman.
I'm disappointed in. I mean, the odds are stacked against us, so we're gonna die anyway.
I don't know that that's
disappointed in
necessarily
that?
true.
All right, guys.
Dragonman.
Dragonman.
Yes, sir.
You regain consciousness.
Okay.
Hooray! Save us all!
You recognize your surroundings. You're on the ship of the Millennium Falcon. Above you, standing above you, is C-Nubs and the rest of the crew. Looks like someone has just finished performing life's last breath, also known as CPR in our world. So what are you doing?
C-Nubs, what happened? I just remember a giant explosion.
He responds, he's like, I don't know. I didn't see a giant explosion. We were all on the ship, and then I blacked out, and then I woke up and it was morning time, and I saw the cottage that you all went to gone.
Where's Akua?
I don't know what to tell you. And then you kind of see them part ways. You see the rest of the crew kind of move out of the way, and you see 5
Damn it.
5 mounds covered in sheets just laying on the deck of the ship. And they just C-Nubs kind of points in that direction.
Does Cord resurrect bodies? I'm just saying. I mean,
Sounds like you're telling me I successfully bobbed to the ship.
that silver lining, Keef.
C-Nubs tells you essentially, it looks like, from what they can tell, everyone on the ship, one way or another, had blacked out when they regained consciousness. It was morning, and they found you, Dragonman, in the rowboat, and they gathered the rest of the bodies of the other members of the Iron Bastards.
So you're telling me there's no Doppelkeef?
They only found one Keef. He was in the water, bobbing
Towards the ship.
Towards the
seemingly towards the ship.
That is impressive. It's probably his wild magic. Well, with much sadness in my heart, I think we should go back to the New Pike. And I don't want to talk anymore.
Dragonman is now a mute.
I take a vow of silence for my dead comrades. I just need to go back to, we need to head back to New Pike, and I need to talk with Goldmane.
Okay.
I swear, Darius, this was not my fault.
His failure son.
Whoa.
Dragon's fault.
So with that, C-Nubs prepares the ship, and you guys head back towards New Pike.
The exchange that just take place, I really look forward to us videotaping all this stuff and putting it on YouTube, because that's amazing.
You guys head towards New Pike. You show up midday.
Yeah.
At this point, C-Nubs, he really doesn't know what to do. He keeps looking to you for guidance.
Well, I'm gonna go to the temple.
Old Dr. Steve Dragonman, Captain of the Millennium Falcon.
I'm going to try to get Goldmane to. I'm gonna have a little chat with him.
Okay.
Mm.
You guys dock. And the rest of the crew begins preparing the ship. They begin making repairs. C-Nubs goes out to do make the deals necessary to get repairs made to the ship, buy the necessary resources. And do you bring? How are you bringing Akua's body with you?
I'm gonna get two of the crewmen to carry him along with me
Okay.
to the temple.
People kind of step out of your way. They don't pay you attention, but they kind of understand what's happening. They just move out of the way. You make your way up to the steps of the Iron Church. You push the doors open, and the rank smell of people honing their bodies to perfection and training all day hits you, but it doesn't affect you. You make your way over to Darius Goldmane, who seems to be working with one of the new acolytes, and he sees you for a split second, and you see his stone face that this friend of yours that you've known for years and years. For the first time, you see him kind of visibly wince, as someone who's a dedicated stoic. You can tell something cuts him deep on an emotional level, and his eyes almost begin to tear. And he looks at you partially with a sense of understanding, partially with a sense of questioning. But he's able to grit his teeth, his jaw. He clears his throat, and he says, "What happened?"
Well, Craig
Darius-
fucked up.
No, Darius, we went to an island, Bear Rock Island,
Bearstone Island.
Bearstone Island. And we were trying to unravel a mystery of a doppelganger who had stolen the identity of one of our crewmen. And unbeknownst to some of the crew members, we were attacked by a highly trained group of assassins, and they were able to overcome us and assassinate all of the crew except for myself, including your son, who fought valiantly but died in the fracas.
Why? He says. He's just like, why? Why not you? Why except for you?
I cannot answer that question. When I woke up, I was on the ship. The last thing I remember was me and Akua fighting on a cliffside on Bear Rock Island, and a giant explosion. And my next recollection was being awoken on the ship with my dead crewmates.
At this point, he steps not quite past you, almost shoulder to shoulder, but facing opposite directions. He puts his hand on your shoulder, kind of squeezes tightly, but without words, he kind of gives you a knowing squeeze, and then he moves past you and looks on the body of his son, and then he just breaks down and starts crying. And this has been your friend for years. You've never seen him in this state before, but he just begins to bawl.
Oh my God! I kind of kneel down and I say a prayer, and I tell him I'm sorry, and that I did everything in my power, but I wasn't strong enough, and I feel like I failed him miserably.
And now I'm here in front of you on my knees.
He takes a hard swallow. He says, "Okay, thank you." Then he walks off. He just walks to the back. Did you want to do anything else?
Not really.
I guess with that being the end of the story, we could wrap up all the loose ends. Because I feel like there were a lot of hanging threads there.
There were some questions for sure.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I mean, we can do this. Just I guess round table.
Yeah, we can do round table.
Whoever.
Who wants to go first? Aaron?
I think the most pressing question should go to Charles, since we were exploring his backstory.
Oh yeah.
So, what was the whole thing with like Keef or the other Keef? What was that?
Okay, so we you pretty much gave me a blank slate to work with.
Yep.
So the idea was that was indeed actually a clone. There's no time travel shenanigans involved.
So I was the real Keef, and he was the clone.
Okay. See, I thought there was time travel.
Okay, no, not exactly. Earlier in the cottage, you found that list of other names. Right. There's essentially five clones, and you were one of them. The time away on Sorcerer's Island that you guys spent 30 years on?
Yeah.
That clone, whose house you're in, was actually able to get further along in discovering about your origin. And so you guys were kind of piggybacking off of like what he was going to find. So like in future, following him to like the new world or whatever, you would have found him basically discovering the origin of you guys. And Boyd, I think in a one shot that we played together, you actually were in the original Keef's. It was that one when you guys found a lab with the thing with all the broken biotic chambers or whatever.
Yeah.
That like I have this habit of like tying all my one shots and stuff together. So essentially, you were created by a mind flayer named Keef.
All right.
And there were 5 other ones. There was Kiefer Et, or no, his name was Kiefer. It was Kiefer Et, Kiefer Un, Kiefer Tal, Kiefer Neth. And they're just like they're numbered.
Nice.
Which is why like his whole thing was, it was a mind flayer essentially from space. It was an alien thing. And the origin was just that he crash landed, was trying to learn more, and then was trying to create life. Which is why like your magic, the wild magic thing, like yours was always wonky, like you couldn't quite get it right.
Right.
And so that's where I was going with that. So like when you guys found there, that was going to lead into possibly maybe space travel. I don't know, but we weren't able to go down that route.
So, okay, you said that it was like Kiefer Un, Kiefer Et. What number is Et?
I believe 5.
Okay.
I was looking at a list of runes, and Et was 5.
So I was the 5th Keef.
Yes. Yeah.
Nice.
There are
Fits
two
with his
other
name.
2 other ones are alive. 2 other ones were dead. And then like
One was missing in action.
yeah.
We don't know what happened to the other one.
That's
So yeah,
sweet.
that's where I was going with that.
Cool.
That's
Pretty dope. I would it have clicked with me eventually. It's like, oh,
Yes,
I know what
'cause-
this is.
Yes,
we
because
would have went to that same
it
cavern.
would have been the exact same place.
I'd be like, guys, there's a portable hole full of gold somewhere. And if any of you drop down this cavern, in that one shot, one of our friends collected a portable hole with 10,000 gold and just dropped into a cavern to nothing.
Like a bottomless pit. He didn't believe it was bottomless. So he tried to explore it.
He's still falling.
To this day, he's still falling.
Which was funny because you told like eventually like maybe him showing up as a villain in one of them.
Oh yeah.
that's
I
pretty
definitely
funny. That would've been hilarious.
I took his character sheet and I kept it as 1, a trophy, and 2, just as it was going to be potentially a future villain.
He was your first kill, right?
Like yeah, for that type of, I guess,
Kill in quotations.
Right. I mean, I didn't do anything to
Basically, it's like,
Did it
here's
to
a bottomless
himself.
pit. Don't jump in it. I don't believe you. I jump.
don't push the button. All right, well, obviously I'm going to push the button.
He did everything he could to die in that pit. Pretty much like we did everything to die to get killed by these assassins.
That's true. Yeah, we didn't make a lot of smart
I
decisions.
could have made a slippery escape. I was all looped up.
Anybody else? Boyd, did you have a question?
I don't know if Charles still wanted to go.
I had one more question. The ring that I found,
Yes.
and I never got to use. What was that?
Oh my God. Okay. I was so disappointed that you never got to figure out what it was. It was called a ring of misspelling.
All right.
And so once a day, when you cast a spell, you can misspell the title, the name of the spell by changing one letter to another letter, and the effects would change to follow suit. So like I was really curious to see what you were gonna do with that.
like, what are some examples?
Instead of a fireball, throw a dire ball.
Or I asked somebody to try to break this item for me, and the first thing he said was like, "How about instead of fireball, tire ball?" And I was like, "Oh man, do you send out one tire that explodes? Does the tire explode into more tires? I don't know, but it would do about the same amount of damage."
Yeah.
But still, like a giant ball of tires that explodes into more tires
That would be
So,
pretty funny.
I mean,
Sick.
that item may pop back up just because I really want to see it in play.
So, like, instead of glyph of warding, you could do glyph of barding.
Yes. Oh my gosh, that would be.
So, like,
Just a glyph that
if it
constantly
infected
sings.
anybody, they just immediately start singing on the spot.
Yeah, stuff like
That
that.
could be fun.
I feel like that was a way to compound your wild magic even more, just to see where things.
I had planned on, attuning myself to it and investigating it
Yeah.
during a long rest, but we never took one.
Right.
But then you jumped off a cliff.
Yeah, that happened.
Teleported.
Yeah, he didn't jump. He teleported and then fell off.
Yeah.
To be honest, though, that move was pretty dope.
Well, the thing about it, yeah,
I mean, that's a pretty cool way to commit suicide.
I mean, I didn't expect my rolls to be so bad.
Yeah.
I don't think any of us
none of
expected
us
our
ever
roles to
do.
be that bad.
Yeah, you guys were pretty off that night.
You got
had fun. I don't
You got
care
any
what
more
you
questions,
say.
Charles?
No, that was it.
I guess. I guess the death didn't really affect me as much as everybody else because Krognak already died.
Yeah.
It's like episode 2 after playing for like 2 years. He's dead,
Right.
which I feel bad. I guess I'll ask some Krognak questions that I never
Okay.
asked before, and then I'll go into some Akua questions.
Some questions you've been sitting on for a while now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If we had went back, what I know at one point, I don't think it was on the stream. We talked about the Orc tribes and the
Yes.
Grass Sea
Yes.
had started uniting.
Yes.
If we had went there, would it and like tried to go to tribe Krognak? Would there could I have taken the leadership there?
You would have to wrestled it from the third Krognak brother, Kroynak. Kroyark. Yeah, that's it. I'm sorry.
Oh, that would be
Okay.
funny.
Do you, does anyone want to tell the story of Kroyark?
I'll tell the
Okay.
story of Kroyark. So Kroyark was just a character that I made up to piss off Trey and Boyd because they were, the Krognak brothers, and I was talking about rolling a new character that would be the third Krognak brother to inherit the tribe.
And we
Yeah,
were just
so-
like, nope.
Yeah, and this was all just in discussion out of the game. So of course I stole it and potentially was hoping to inject it into the game.
But we never we didn't
pretty
spend much time like going deep into land at all.
Right,
We
right.
spent a lot of time out.
I mean, you guys found a boat and you're like, hey, we have a boat.
Yeah.
So wait, I'm sorry. Ship. You guys had a ship.
Yeah, we have
Trey's not here to
It's a
correct
boat. We can say that now. Let's see. That's another Krognak thing. What was the bow? James the Lesser ended up with it. It's when you guys met James the Lesser, he was carrying a sick bow. At one point in time, we had encountered it earlier with a lizard tribe. And Krognak had thought about taking that bow and had an opportunity to take it, but decided to leave it with them.
Yeah.
What was that bow?
Had you guys finished the stuff with the assassins, the murder, literally the next part was Lord James Mayer or James the Lesser approaching you, and I was gonna basically finish that storyline. Like I had lined up to just start finishing one by one different storylines, and you would have seen it because I actually had a really cool scene, at least in my mind. Anyways, it was called a Bow of Storms. And it shoots lightning bolts and sounds like thunder.
It sounds amazing.
Yeah, it would have been amazing.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
That sounds awesome.
I'm so salty now.
So Boyd, I know you're dying to know. I'll ask the question. What was the cloud?
We talked about the cloud, didn't we?
We talked about it, but we're recording over that.
Oh, you're right.
So
All right,
yeah,
so-
cut that part out.
Okay, so the cloud that was following you guys.
Also known as Boyd's Vindication.
Yes, it was. There was actually an out of place, malicious with an asterisk cloud following the ship to be specific. It was what's called a tracer cloud. So when it's put on the target, from the target, it just looks like a small innocuous cloud. But from any other angle, from anywhere else in the land, far enough away, it almost looks like an arrow or a line pointing to that target, so that no matter where someone is, if they're within reasonable distance, they can see, oh, yeah, well, my target's right over there. Or in that direction at the least. And that's essentially how the murder, the group of Kenku assassins were following you.
So that's how they found us.
Yeah, like this. Since you guys left Luskin, it was done on the ship when the ship was still in Luskin, and since you guys were there, that's how long.
I remember
it's been.
I was listening to episode 1 today,
Uh-huh.
and almost one of the first things brought up is that cloud still following us?
Oh yeah.
So yeah, like it's been there since before we started the podcast.
Yeah, and it's like you guys haven't since we started the podcast. You guys haven't been away from the ship, really.
We haven't.
So you guys never really had a chance to like for that to come up to be like, oh wait, that
Or
how
when
what's
we
different?
were away from the ship, we never looked up at the
Or,
cloud.
right.
Well,
there
I
was,
think
there
the
was
biggest
never
thing
there was
is Krognak was the one who was the most suspicious of it because he rolled really high on that perception. check.
the very
and
first
it's
time.
like, and you're like, I was a nat 20 on a nature check, I think. And it's like that. You're like, that cloud's not natural, and you know it's not natural. And I'm like, guys, there's something up with that cloud. But before anything could be done, Krognak died.
Yeah.
And like, so Akua, he didn't make any mention of the crowd.
I think Keef
Yeah, I
followed
think I
up on
mentioned it
Yeah.
once.
I sent my hawk to investigate it. Apparently, my hawk doesn't know what an arrow looks like.
I mean,
Looks like a
it looks
cloud
like
to
a
me.
cloud. Like
Clouds
But-
have shapes.
that's true.
I guess my last Krognak question, which I mean, Krognak had a pretty honorable death in his eyes, but no,
it was heroic.
he drowned wearing a cloak of water breathing. He was more crushed. It's the sad thing is I feel like I could have killed the octopus. That was the
You
saddest.
could
part.
have.
Yeah.
It was like one more hit, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yes,
Two more
like
ones?
if either you, because I know James went down there too. If either one of you had hit it, I think it was literally down to 4 hit points.
James could have saved me.
I did
Krognak
say
could've saved himself.
He saved his body.
He did recover my corpse. Yes, I think.
Which I think though that death it led to a really cool scene. Like I
Yeah.
thought that was really cool. The
It opened up the whole Shaw adventure.
yeah.
Yeah, and to be fair, I mean, I liked Akua too.
Yeah.
I feel really bad for Akua dying.
I know. Right after that scene with your dad and
He's like,
Oh my
Hey, I'm
gosh.
going
Dad,
on my
I'm going to do
pilgrimage."
better. 2 days later,
training
2 days later.
montage.
Literally later that day.
Yeah, it was like 8 hours later.
It's like less than
If
24
that.
hours. He's dead. But last Krognak question, we'll talk about the Outcast.
Yes.
I want to know about this too. Go ahead.
And
Okay.
like I metagamed it a little bit because I was like, I have to know. Like Akua was like inspecting. I was like, I've kind of seen him around town. Like, what was he inside? I mean, I know in the past when we were with the Lizard Men's tribe, I actually convinced one lizard person to come with me, and she
For
was,
relations.
yeah, she was Krognak's relations. Was that Krognak's child?
Yes. Yeah, it completely was. And there was like a little side story. I kind of had a mock trial waiting for that. And this again was going to happen literally right when you guys came back to the island because there was a whole prison scene. There was there's just some stuff lined up.
All that planning down.
Well, I know one of the things like I had thought about is if Akua ever died is taking hold of the Outcast. If
Yeah.
Ryan would let me.
Interesting.
And like having like Kraken raise, like not raise him, but you know,
Hey, Uncle Kraken.
but that is interesting. The Outcast was there, like especially because he's like half lizard, half
Yeah.
orc. That was pretty cool.
So yeah, following this fight, you guys would have, I assumed, returned to New Pite. The next story or the next part of the story was Lord James Mayer approaching you guys about what he's been doing, where he's at, and exactly his relationship with Salazar. And
Yeah, I was going to ask. That was what my question was
Okay.
going to be. Was about where did Lord Mayor James go?
right, well, he basically went off to basically blow off some steam because the bodies that you delivered were
Is Steam his boyfriend?
Anyways, so the bodies he delivered belonged to one of his crew or some of his
I
crew.
totally called it.
He actually, if you guys have figured out, he was actually the leader of the Sea Wolves. He had like a almost like Batman Bruce Wayne type thing going on where the Sea Wolves were these pirates that, nobody messed with, but he's also he was like the ruler and the main guy in New Pite. And their fleet was actually pretty big, the Sea Wolves, that is. And that just happened to be one of the crews of them. And that was going to hopscotch into the next part of what I was hoping to culminate into a huge pirate war, like and see where the
That would've
Millennium
been
Falcon was
awesome.
going to fit into that.
Okay, so
We could have been pirates,
I
guys.
suspected, based on the ship that we found at sea right before we got to New Pite, that Salazar was dealing with slave trade.
Yes.
He was?
Yes, that's exactly what it was. And so they were Salazar and just people in Luskin in general, Salazar mainly, he was maintaining or facilitating the slave trade of bodies from the New World to Luskin. But you have to pass through the waters around New Pite to do that. And James the Lesser, Lord James Mayer, or Lord Mayor James was not about that. So that was the Seawolves' role is disrupting the slave trade, and that's essentially what triggers their rivalry.
Good guy pirate.
Got it.
My biggest thing on that, this is just a Bard's question, not really a Kuga question. With that, I mean, did Salazar think he's going to get away with it? Like just tricking, like he gave us a box of rocks.
Yeah. I mean, pretty much.
He's one.
You guys took it without hesitation.
He
No
probably
questions
put the
asked.
head out.
That's true. We did.
That's what happens when you send an orc to do James's job.
I was like, Trey, you're trying to do all of the talking and you have the lowest charisma. Just let James handle this.
Yeah.
So
Hindsight, man.
yeah. So yeah, and I was working up to I was channeling like Pirates of the Caribbean, the third movie with just like 2 fleets of ships, and then seeing you guys in between. Seeing what's gonna
Maelstrom.
happen. Maybe, yeah.
That would have been legit.
Because Salazar, oh my gosh, Salazar had also made a new powerful ally that you guys had met recently, and it was going to be the return of Shaw. It would have been an interesting.
That would have been crazy.
Oh my
I was
gosh.
that was one thing that I was terrified about was running back into that guy.
Yeah, that's exactly what would have happened.
Because I remember I was like, okay, he said he was going to leave us in 24 hours. They would just presume us dead. If we don't come back up and we find our own way out, we should be safe.
Well, I mean, he
If we
sent
ever
us
run
to
into
kill
him
a
again.
dragon.
Huh?
He sent us to kill a dragon that we thought was a sea hag.
Right.
That was a fun fight right up until we almost all died.
So one question that I had is about Kraken's sword. Trey is not here at the moment, so I wanted to ask this on behalf of him. Lagatha, we found it in the Demon Temple
Yes.
on Sorcerer's Isle,
Yes.
and he's been carrying it around with him. We had a couple of people, a couple of NPCs point out how evil it was
Correct.
and everything. What is Lagatha?
All right. So the actual name is Ebonblade. Lagartha is obviously the nickname that Trey gave the sword.
Didn't know that.
Lagartha is a character from the show Vikings.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, played by Catherine Winnick. All right. Anyways, so yeah, that's a storyline that I literally have been working on since almost not quite day one, maybe day 2 ish. With the
When we decided to play a second session.
when you left Flan,
Okay.
there was that sorcerer or that wizard that went with you guys. He was looking
Lucius.
for Lucius.
We picked up Lucius.
Yes, he was looking. He was following the tracks of Farron the sorcerer. So the story behind that was Lucius was actually part of like this cult, and the reason you guys, I feel like multiple times throughout the entire thing, have heard about Farron the sorcerer. He was in there's paintings of him in the one temple in Deep Mist, and a couple other people have told his tale, and it's a pretty popular tale about how he was just this awesome demon hunter who went around and killed demons. Unfortunately, his tale that they don't tell you in the storybooks ended tragically, and his sword was actually a prison by the time you guys found it for one of the demon lords that he killed.
Oh.
So had he got a big enough kill streak going without dying, or if he had killed one of you, this is Trey or Kraken, that would have opened up essentially a storyline to go into the sword to freeing for the demon inside the sword to try to convince you guys to free him, to trick you into freeing him. That's essentially, but like every time it started gaining steam on that, I was like, all right, we're getting closer. He would die, or he would get KO'd, or you guys would like take a break or not fight anything for a while. Or I was like, all right, so cool it down. So that's essentially where that was.
But on the island, like the last fight, like he was hitting me.
Yeah.
And like then you started like talking about like, oh, these crows are like starting to morph and change.
Yeah, that was not the poison itself. The poison just made you guys look like crows. That was essentially Lagartha starting to influence him a little more, trying to get him to be more violent, try to get him more kill these things, because then that was just going to lead into trying to pull him into the sword. So,
and that's something A lot of people, like I talked to Brian about this, and I think some of the other crew knew this, that with Akua, he basically his father was like a high paladin, but he never heard from Cord, even though he tried to follow his tenets. And it's like I wanted Akua to eventually either be swayed by Kraken and start taking levels in barbarian with his fighter and stuff like that, or to eventually like hear from Cord and take levels in paladin.
Yeah.
And eventually, like I was really looking forward to the day when I got to the paladin, and I did a like sense good and evil, and be like, Trey, that's a huge hunk of evil you have on your back. What is up with that? I was looking forward to that encounter.
It's funny that you say that, because after the spectator fight, you had mentioned how like Akua saw Kraken in a new light, because like it was just like that's the biggest display of strength he'd seen and things like that.
Yeah,
I thought that would have been interesting, and I was thinking of ways of pulling you into this relationship with the sword, and then like I don't know, just trying to maybe like
a love triangle,
almost, but more like a
Yes.
blood triangle,
more of a
triangle,
more of a Akua's like, if I kill Kraken, I get that sword.
something like that. Yeah, I was toying with the idea of that,
Holy
but I never
crap,
wrote
it's-
anything down.
it's like
Yeah.
the One Ring.
I do have some Akua questions I gotta ask, which I don't know. I mean, Akua lived such a short life. I feel really bad. I'm gonna do better, Dad. Even with Steve, poor Steve is like, I'm gonna protect him, Darius.
Oh my gosh,
And then he carries him back. Here's his corpse.
Later that day,
A few hours later.
I tried.
Were you ever, I mean, I know you just talked about like the sword and everything. Did you ever like have a moment like, oh, I'll let him like hear from a deity or something like that? Did you have any of that planned out at any point?
Yeah, you got the first hint of it when you made the save against that
Enfeeblement?
enfeeblement, yeah, that was a pretty big thing for the fight. Well, that helped you guys a lot more than it hurt you. There were definitely some temples that I had planned on you guys visiting. I really didn't get that far ahead.
Yeah.
But I was definitely planning, at least after this encounter, for you to start hearing from Cord and then start the progression, just to time it for the next level up, essentially.
Yeah.
Nice.
But yeah.
so when we were in Doppelkeef's lair,
Yes.
there were the golems that had the skeletons in them. Were
Yes.
those attempts at cloning?
Yes, that's
Okay.
exactly what that was. Like I said, that clone was a little further along in piecing together the puzzle. And so you guys were just kind of stumbling onto that. And he was just like trying to recreate what he found so far.
Gotcha.
Could we have taken the clay golems? Could we have activated those?
Maybe. I don't know. That means I don't know.
You just
Yeah,
didn't plan that far.
I didn't think
Okay.
about it. There's a lot I don't think about.
Last Akua question.
Okay.
With Steve and his development, do you think it's at some point like, were you prepared for like basically Akua and Steve to basically turn on Kraken, being like, hey man, that sword is evil, we gotta get rid of it, and then basically like splitting the party almost of, we're not dealing with that sword, or we're gonna go.
Never crossed my mind.
Never crossed
But I kind of wish, like, I love when stuff like that happens. Like that's one of those like emerging gameplay things that you, like, I would never in a million years plan for that, but I would love to see it happen. Just like, I really like seeing the stuff between the players that's just unprompted by the DM. Like you guys come up on your own and develop your own relationships. I think that's like one of the coolest things.
Well, I know a little bit. Krognak had it a little bit when he was alive,
Yeah.
which it wasn't a lot on the podcast, unfortunately.
Right.
Where it's like, hey man, you're getting a little too violent. You need to calm that down a little bit. And Trey was like, nah, man, if you ain't murdering her, like hard enough, that's your problem.
Yeah.
Or whatever he says. But that is something.
I'm pretty sure that was a direct quote. You got it right.
Hobo comes up
He
with.
says something about murdering and enjoying it. Kraken as a character, not Trey the person. Well, maybe Trey the person. I don't know. But I know there's something me and Blake, who played Steve, had talked about it, is us like, if Steve trying to influence me to do better and basically like follow the trials and become a paladin, as opposed to Kraken influencing me to be more like
Right.
him, kind of stuff.
Right.
Devil and angel on the shoulders, man.
Exactly. That's what we were talking about. And like at the moment, like I was 100% on Steve's side. Then I saw Kraken essentially one shot the spectator.
You're like, I can be a Sith.
I was like, that's real talk. That's dope as hell. I want to be able to do that. So I mean, but it's something me and Blake had talked about. Is like eventually it's like there being a split of like, man, that sword is not good. Like we need to be away from it. Yeah, kind of deal. Because I know like we ran into another paladin at some point,
right?
Percival or something like that. Had been like, no, that sword is.
The blacksmith.
Yeah,
the paladin turned blacksmith. Yeah. Yeah, that was a while ago.
I guess
that was a while ago.
What was up? I'm sorry. I just remembered like what was up with the diseases and stuff that was going on in Luskin when we came back right before we launched.
Oh yeah, there was all that plague.
there was a lot of plot points we just skipped through.
Yeah, sometimes when you guys do that, I also just kind of discard things and forget them. That was an experimental weapon that essentially Salazar was going to attempt to use on New Pipe. And one of the original things, one of my first inklings was that originally that's what he was going to be transporting, having you guys transport to New Pipe. But then ultimately I was just like, I don't know if I'm ready to deal with that widespread death and like flipping the table that much. And so you guys kind of forgot about it. I was going to bring it back up later in a smaller form, but I just never got to that point.
So Keef wasn't feeling well. Did he contract it?
No.
Okay. There was at the very beginning of the podcast, like the session we had played before we started podcasting.
Right.
Keef was feeling very ill.
Right. That was a symptom of that gold bar.
All right.
That you stole from that evil temple that you guys were at.
Same place where you ended up getting the sword from, too.
Right.
Which Krognak had one, and we were the only two that had one, right?
You had one, then lost it to Shortwick.
Yeah. She convinced me that I lost it forever.
Yep. Honestly, I also ended just forgetting about it a couple times. But over the course of time, it would have kind of turned you undead. It would have zombified you a little bit.
Zombie Keef. Oh man.
Yeah. So that was kind of a long con that just didn't plan out.
Even though I was a clone, I could have been like a zombie clone.
Oh yeah.
Zone Clomby.
I have a bad habit. Like
what was that one, boy?
Zone Clomby.
That's his new progressive rock band.
Sorry for my I don't know words. I don't speak well.
I tend to like brush in really broad strokes for like making overall stories. So sometimes I forget like minor details, or like I'll spread things out way too far, and then like as we can see, we haven't really gotten to a lot of those.
Yeah. So Leon really that was like his first day on the job, right. And he died. I had planned a lot of stuff for him in terms of like his backstory and what he was trying to accomplish. I don't think it was as involved as him. Did you have anything special planned for Leon?
I had. I was gonna see how Leon was gonna react to actually encountering some of the slavers, because before this,
he was gonna murder them.
Right before the whole full pirate war happened, you guys were gonna come upon your own slave ship. Like you were gonna have to do some investigative work for James, and so I wanted to see where that was going to go more than anything.
Okay, yeah, because
that's the most.
As a former slave himself,
right.
I don't think I ever told anybody. We never got a chance to explore his background, but he used to be a slave of the Drow in the Underdark for like 30-something years, and he finally managed to escape the Drow, and that's why he knows so much about tunnels. That's why he's scared of the dark, all that stuff, and if we had ever met a drow or a slaver or something like that, Leon would have lost his shit and murdered whoever.
That would have been interesting, because I mean, up to this point, he was pretty level-headed. He was pretty just straightforward. So I wanted to see that. I wanted to see that reaction.
Really stupid.
Yeah, very dumb. Very
Not
dumb.
the brightest.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Andrew, did you have any?
Well, I know we didn't. We kind of. I don't remember if the fight with Kai was before we had the podcast.
It was
before.
I think it was like 1 or 2 sessions before.
Yeah. So I remember her mentioning something about me not knowing the full depth of what was going on between like her and my master and all the other stuff like that. So what was that whole plot line if we had actually kind of followed that?
Oh, can you tell us a little bit about Kai? Since I'm the
people on the podcast don't know about Kai.
So from Theron's point of view, Kai is an elven chick who was apparently pretty hot. She, as far as I know, she poisoned my master, and she's the reason that he died and passed that not ultimatum, but final request on me to go and hunt down his enemies and finish them all off. And she stole his bow, which was pretty awesome, and kind of like disappeared. So I started trying to track her down. I was adventuring with these guys for a little while, but then they got whisked off to
Sorcerer's
Isle. And while they were there, I kind of lost my leads as to where Kai was. So I attempted to, settle down. I had a wife and 2 kids, and I found one day that my wife and children had been murdered, and the arrows that were used to kill them matched the ones that my master's bow used. So from there, I assumed it was Kai, and I went back on the trail, and then that's where it took me to what was that town that I met back. It was Luskin.
Yeah, you guys met back in Luskin.
It ended up taking me towards Luskin, and I actually ran back into my adventuring party when they got back from Sorcerer's Isle.
Yeah.
And that's kind of where we picked up. We actually ended up having, I said that already, that fight.
Yeah, you guys had a pretty big fight.
Got away.
That fight. Oh, we were so
That
close
was
to
rough.
getting
I know.
her, man.
She was, yeah.
That was a pretty epic
To be
fight.
fair, though, we didn't stand a chance.
What? No, we totally stood a chance. I was
Dude,
like,
if Ralph hadn't mysteriously showed up, we'd have died.
Yeah, between sessions, a new player showed up, so that tipped the scales a little bit.
Where was Ralph
But it was
at the
still-
beginning of this episode?
He ran off to find the hawk fox, that little creature.
God,
Dude, I
dang
wanted
it.
that thing.
Dang it,
So-
Ralph.
Like,
I wanted that hawk fox as a
that
pet
thing's
so
dead.
bad.
no, as like if he comes
been
back, he has a
awesome.
new pet. Like it's a little, it's a
Oh,
cute
gosh,
little
he
like
found it.
half fox, half hawk thing.
That was awesome.
Okay, so the thing with Kai, the direction I took that story was that your master, the one who helped train you, who helped taught you your skills and stuff, wasn't ultimately himself a good guy. He's just more or less kind of using you. Kai was also in a similar situation, and she figures it out and is going to others also in that situation and trying to like free them in a way.
Interesting.
Kind of like I don't know, like this weird like Jason Bourne type. Like, you're an asset. You're not like a good guy.
Yeah.
So ultimately, I was planning a second fight with her, but she was kind of in the midst of creating her own little assassins league. And her thing was she was going to actually come back to you guys. She was going to make the first step and try to recruit you to that.
Interesting.
That's what that wasn't going to be till after the pirate thing.
man.
I would have agreed to that if she gave me my master's bow back.
This is the plot to
Interesting, 'cause-
Batman Begins.
That would have been essentially the way I was going to go. So I was going to see how that would affect the group if someone willingly leaving on that note, as opposed to like James just kind of retiring.
Yeah.
So,
Such a smart decision.
Why was she teaming up with the Dragon Legion though?
for money, it was like,
She's just a gun for hire for them. essentially?
well, she had spent like her whole life, following orders and doing other things. She was essentially in control of that. Like she just started gaining power through that and gaining influence and being able to direct other people to do things.
Interesting.
And they just, she just kind of worked her way into that. And so as soon as you guys disrupted the Dragon Legion in that region, she was just going to bolt. It's like she had no allegiance to them, really. She was just there to run stuff.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
For her own personal game, that is.
All right. Cool.
That's pretty
Contract management. I like it.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, yeah.
James is doing all right though. Right?
Yeah, pretty
Right?
much. He's got a 8 book deal with a pretty big publisher.
Heck yeah.
For real though, do you think James survived, like as the DM? I mean, would the murder have?
I didn't
let
think
him-
about it till after
After we met again.
after everyone died. But I was thinking, because of the way the murder is actually structured, there's very much a possibility that with James' influence, or at least his family's influence, he would have been able to negotiate ways into or out of that contract.
So I guess with that, can we
Damn rich
can we,
kids.
can we delve a little bit more into the murder's history? I know,
Yeah.
me and you have talked a little bit about it.
Yeah.
Can you talk like how we could have gotten out of that contract or explored like how we could have survived?
Okay, so you guys got the hint that the murder was in New Pite. Like there were people there, or members there at least. Pretty much just following that thread or asking about it, you guys, it would have been pretty easy to find the leader of New Pite. Or I'm sorry, not New Pite, of the murder.
Lord Mayor James, yes.
He's not. No. And that was also a demon. The leader is named Pazuzu. And it's actually pretty...
Bless you.
Pretty big, I guess, in Forgotten Realms or Dungeons & Dragons lore as a very contract-heavy or deal-heavy demon lord. So that's essentially where that was going to go.
We basically could have made like a Shaw-like deal with them.
Right.
Yeah.
To dispatch someone else in lieu of, like, you pay
I'll
for
let
a
you
death
guys
with a
go
death.
if you hunt down James and murder him.
Dude, Kraken
It would
was
have been
like,
something similar to that.
Kraken would have been so hype on that.
So you'd say no more.
Oh man, like it would have been like, oh yeah, you can be free if you go kill Akua's dad or something like that. That is
That would have been
suck.
terrible.
So yeah, any other open story threads you guys wondering about?
I don't have anything. That also kind of covers like some of our backstory too. I mean, it's not a full recap, obviously.
Yeah.
But, I mean,
Yeah.
we do have another
oh.
campaign coming up, guys.
That is true. I think
Yeah.
we all decided on doing a new setting, new story, new characters. It's still gonna be fantasy, but with a little bit of a twist.
Still 5e rules.
Yeah, we're still playing 5e, so I think that'll be really exciting. I'm super pumped about it.
Me too.
Do you want to give,
Like-
just like a preview?
Brief overview.
It's
Or a
Like, I-
teaser,
I
if
kinda-
you will.
yeah, I'm trying to think how can I tease this. It's definitely going to be okay. The story that we played with your characters, you guys are very small fish in a really, really big world, or very big ocean, as it were. The direction we're going in within this one is the world itself almost seems smaller, but the stuff that you're going to be doing is a lot more heroic. Everything's going to be a little more epic. There's going to be a lot more eyes, more adventure, more high fantasy feel to it. So
We're gonna have a lot more like renown. So,
yeah.
Yeah.
I
like
think
it.
so.
I can dig it.
Good old clout.
So
It's gonna be awesome.
Yep. It'll be
I'm gonna
pretty
be
interesting.
famous.
Only if your character sounds like that the entire time. You have to talk like that.
Nope.
You can do it.
I will take just mediocrity.
You try as you might, fame eludes you.
That's what
my silent character just all of a sudden opens up his mouth. Hey guys, and it's like, oh, that's why he doesn't talk.
Go back to not talking, please.
All right. Well, thank you
sweet.
guys so much
Well,
for
thanks for
joining
listening,
us. Yeah, for the Iron Bastards saga.
Yeah. Yep. Iron Bastards.
Yep, it's I don't know, it's kind of a bittersweet ending, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You had a lot planned.
Yeah,
That would have been
but-
pretty awesome.
Yeah, I think a lot of that would have been really cool to get to. I'm kind of sad we didn't get a chance to explore
Yeah.
all that, but
It's the dice,
you know,
though, man.
that's what
That's true.
That's the
what
thing
happens,
is,
and
we made bad decisions, bad rolls, and this is what happens. I mean, and that's how we decided at the beginning we were going to play it like that.
DM, I would like to suggest that lube is supposed to get you out of tight situations.
you
also
didn't use
into
lube
tight
though; you used oil.
situations.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
Oil is lube.
you oiled yourself. There, let's be real for a second. You oiled yourself up, and then got set on fire and immediately jumped
Yeah,
off of
then-
a cliff.
That's
There
true.
was water down there.
I feel like staying alive wasn't your priority. But all right, yeah, we'll pick it up next time. As always, thanks for listening. If you have any questions, you can hit us up on our Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. We'll do our best to hit you back.
Yep,
If you
let
guys
us
have any
know.
questions that you want to hear us answer, let us know. Like,
Yeah, because I think we're still going to do like an overview episode, aren't we?
A
Eventually.
recap episode.
Yeah,
yes.
we'll do a full wrap up of Iron Bastards, a proper one.
Sweet. Yeah, so get your questions in.
All right.
yeah.
Or favor.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys. Y'all have a good day.
Well, we stand here in a row, looking like a bunch bunch of heroes. I know that deep inside, nothing more but a bunch of zeros. Ah!